What's up? What's up?
What's going on, man? What's going on, y'all? Welcome back, College Guys Talking Ball. Second episode in 2 days this
Sure.
week. We're pushing them out for you guys on this Thursday, episode 10. Welcome in.
What a big Thursday it is. We just some crazy things have actually kind of happened like since we were just on air
Yep,
yesterday.
yep,
Uh
absolutely.
Phillies get no hit. That's just travesty, honestly.
World
But
Series no hitter. We
we're,
had some good hockey action. We had some good basketball action last night.
we're a day
Uh,
closer to the big game.
a
So
day closer, man. I can barely focus on anything else. I'm sure I said that yesterday, but it's just getting worse. Like class going to class. It's like, dude,
I know
I
I know
can't
you can't
even
even wait anymore.
focus.
And then the
But
weekend, of course, is going to go by so fast. Just the nature of it. But we're going to enjoy it.
as
The
long
game
as
in
long as as
Athens.
long
So
as Georgia wins, dude, I don't care how
yes.
fast the weekend goes, man. So, man,
Yeah, but
awesome. Well,
let's get right
let's
into it.
yeah, let's touch on that no hitter last night. TJ, what'd you see there, man? Wow, what happened to the Phillies
Yeah,
offense last
so
night?
the series is tied up now. And I guess something to note is the series might even be over before we even get to talk about it again. Right, I believe they'll play today. They'll get one rest day, and then it'll be Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday.
So yeah, it will be over before the next time we record. So yeah, no hitter in Philly. Um, so game four just goes exactly how the Astros wanted.
Absolutely, yeah.
you know, did the Phillies no hits. So while scoring 5 runs, that certainly helps.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so yeah, one of the more like it's not like I guess remarkable things that I take away from this no hitter is just how resilient like the Astros starters are. I mean, they go out, they get shelled in game three, like give up the most home runs in a World Series game ever. And then on the flip, the next game they come back into Philly
No
and
hits.
give up the least amount of hits ever in World Series World Series game. And I think that's crazy. I don't think they're getting enough credit for it. I mean, it was four guys. They all, I mean, Javier was, definitely
We're
bright.
giving them some credit though. They're getting their credit. I mean, it's
They
just the
get their
nature of
credit, yes.
baseball, unfortunately.
But yeah, so like we were talking about yesterday, how quickly these storylines change, like in the World Series. We're talking about if Philly wins that game, they're up 3-1, and the driver's seat could end it tonight. But
Right.
now it's 2-2. Now the Astros may have the momentum game, a 3-game, final series, I guess you could say. And
With home field for Houston too. I mean,
yes, yes.
but the thing about the Phillies is we've been saying it all postseason is that they're, like I said, they're Jekyll and Hyde, offensively. They'll have one night where they look like they can't hit the broadside of the barn, aka last night, and then they come out and swing it. But to be honest with you, there's a big difference between striking out 18 to 20 times and getting 3 or 4 hits and getting no hit. So like I said, here, no hitters usually give one team momentum and take the other team's momentum away for, a week or two. And the problem with this is, like you said, it's only a 3-game series. All the Astros need is momentum to win 2 more. And I think, unfortunately for Phillies and the Philadelphia fans, I think that momentum is probably going to carry them over the top here.
Okay, so the one thing that I kind of look at it as, so like the Phillies, like we talked about, they're hit and miss. Could potentially score 8 runs. One
Then
night,
get
then
then get no hit. Yeah.
yeah. I think in these playoffs, specifically, I think they've had too many, or they've had way more of those 7-run performances, 8-run performances, 10 runs,
Yeah.
7 runs, 5 homers in a game type performances that I think at some point they're due to kind of slow down a little bit.
So you'd lean towards the side that they're probably more due to have their worst performances
Yes,
right
they're more
now.
due to have their 1 run, 2 run, only get
Right.
4 hit performances than to have those 5 home runs again.
Explosion.
But
And go ahead.
no, no, you go ahead.
And the point about that is actually, I guess that was what, game 3 when they exploded with all those homers, right? Game
Yeah,
3.
yeah,
The thing about that was, and I need to go look at the stats. I may not be right here, but when I was watching it, like all their runs are from home runs.
yeah,
So it's not like they're even the entire postseason when they were playing the Braves, playing the Cardinals, like their runs, while they are, a pretty hot offensive team right now, every big moment they've had has been from a home run, which,
right, right.
you give or take from that, but it's not like the entire. It's not like they're lighting up the scoreboard with hits anyway. So they're very feast or famine offensively right now. And sometimes, like I said last time, we played, when you're in a famine, it can take weeks to get out, and the Phillies don't have weeks to get out of a famine. Like
Yeah, you're right. So, okay, so do you think the favorite of the series changes now? I mean, Philly still has one game, at home, and then the next two are going to go to Houston. But
I
what do you think?
think
It's kind of even here. I mean,
it is Eve.
a three-game
Technically,
series, so
I'd change my favorite to the Astros. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Philly was ever the favorite. Maybe we had them to win, but I'd say that this is all Astros. Unfortunately, it may be Astros in 6. But that being said, it all comes down to game 5 for me with the Phillies as far as their chances go. If they win tonight, they have a chance to win. I still don't love them to win.
yeah.
If the Astros win tonight, the series is over, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah, so I'm similar with you. I think, after game 4, absolutely. I was saying Philly was the favorite. Now I think Houston's favorite just
right.
because, kind of like you're saying, there's no way that they can be eliminated in Philly now. The series is going to have to turn over to Houston, where they know that ballpark much better. Houston fans are going to bring it. I think that would give Houston the edge. Um, that being said, they also have Verlander, so
Right.
that he's pitching tonight. But
Yeah, what do you think about Verlander tonight? I see you've got some stuff about him. What you got?
oh yeah, so they have Verlander pitching, featured 3-time Cy Young winner. He still needs to prove himself big time in the World Series because he's been
He's
horrible.
actually, he's the worst pitcher ever in the
Yeah,
World Series.
ever. And
That's crazy.
I've said it so many times this postseason. Like, I'm riding Verlander, I'm riding Verlander, and he just gives up so many runs. But I'm
Hey,
sticking with it. I'm
tonight.
sticking with it tonight. I've got him going 6 innings with 1 earned run or less.
You know what? I like
That would
that
be
take a
huge
lot.
for them.
It
That would,
wouldn't.
like, literally, it would solidify them winning
Well,
pretty
it's
much, I
it's
think.
really tonight is for Verlander. It's really about all between the ears. I mean, if he lets that crowd rattle him, I wrote down here. It
Yeah.
starts early to me. If the Phillies come out, I said first inning, but really first 1, 2, 3 innings, and they come out, and you look up, they've been through the order, once, and they still don't have a hit, or they got one hit here, a walk here. Like, if they're
Yeah.
not really producing early, I think Verlander can take that momentum because, like I said, dude, when you get that's no hit, getting no hit is not just a 0 on the board. Like, everybody
Yeah.
in that clubhouse knows, like, we suck.
I could do
We
something
suck.
better.
Like, we suck right
Yeah.
now. This isn't looking around like nobody was 3 for 4. Like, the entire
Yeah.
lineup was over. So it starts early for me because Verlander can also take the crowd of it because the Philly fans also know they just got no hit. So it's like,
Yeah. They
you
don't have
start
much
looking around like,
wiggle room.
okay, then
We
it's
haven't
like
got a hit in,
10 innings, 11
yeah,
innings,
or
12
11
innings,
innings.
13 innings. Like,
Yeah.
so it starts early for me, but I do agree with you. I think, baseball is also a game of percentages, probability, statistics. At some point, a pitcher of Justin Verlander's stature, I mean, he's just going to show he's got
Yeah.
stuff. So he just has to go out there and pitch. It
And
starts early, though.
the thing about Verlander is, like, the one thing he doesn't lack is, like, experience. And I know you said maybe the Philly fans get between his ears, but I don't see how that could be possible. Like, when he was way younger, he was pitching in the World Series against the Giants. He's
Right.
pitched in the World Series against the Dodgers. Like, he's had these home, these road starts where the, opponent's fans are just drilling into him. So I don't think that should be like a bailout for him. Like, he has to pitch good.
Right.
He's a 3-time Cy Young winner. Like, he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Famer. Right.
And this would
Yeah.
be so huge because Houston needs this World Series. And I mean, that's
They
really
do.
that.
The Astros really do need
They
to
do
win this
really
World
need it.
Series.
And the Phillies, obviously, you get to the World Series, you don't want to lose it. But the
They don't
Phillies,
need to. There's no.
yeah,
It's getting to like, okay, boys, like, all right, we're here again. Like, now we're expected to be here. We need to win. So I guess
yeah,
let's move on real quick before we
yeah.
move to college football.
Okay,
Now
so
that it
yeah,
is a
now that
now that
you
it
go.
is a best of 3, who you got? TJ, all you, man.
Well, I've got Houston, but uh, the thing here is, who's going to have a big 3-game series or a
Right.
dominant pitching outing to lead their team to hoist the World Series. Um, I'll go Jordan,
Yep.
just because he's the type of guy that makes an impact. Um, he's that type of player, and he needs to do it on the biggest stage, the World Series. As for another player, like, kind of under the radar guy, I'm going to say Ryan Presley,
Bullpen
because I
guy.
mean, dude, if he gets in there, saves like 2 games, the final 2 games for them,
Well, that's it.
and one to
That's
and one
it.
and exactly 1 to 2
Dude.
games, like that's huge, and we should both know how important shutting down those last innings are
Yep.
in the playoffs, and I don't think there's any team that's set up better for it than the Astros.
I mean, you saw it last night. I mean, they didn't even really sniff a hit there at the end.
Yeah,
Usually
yeah,
they
yeah.
sniff a hit, but they didn't. So I agree with you. I think this is all Astros. Even if Philly wins tonight, winning 2 on the road may be too much to ask. Dude, I didn't know this. I mean, I knew they were not great on the road. They are 54 points lower on the road average wise. They hit
Dude, Philly,
they hit 249, almost 250 at home, which I'd say is pretty good. And they
that
hit
is good.
a putrid dude 195 on the road.
That's
And
gross.
they also have guys that like, I mean, anything can happen. It's baseball, but Hoskins is a hole in that lineup on the road. Like they have a couple guys, as their average has shown, they have holes in the lineup on the road.
Yeah,
Tonight, the series, in my opinion, it's all in Zach Wheeler's hands. It's a game-by-game series, but if Zach Wheeler goes out there and shoves, gives them a chance, I think they have more of a chance. But tonight, if he doesn't show up, if they lose, it's over for sure. If they
yeah.
win tonight, I still think it's Astros, but I'm saying my
And
pick is Astros in 6. I think Houston wins tonight and they win tomorrow.
if it
Or
goes
win in a couple
seven,
days.
if it goes seven, I see you have it here. I think we're definitely going to see Nola. Nola
Yep.
is definitely going to be out there. I think Wheeler is probably done after today, just pending on
Well,
how
it just depends.
unless he gets shelled and gives up only throws 50 pitches,
I
then
think,
he
but
could potentially pitch you.
some guys they do get that rest day. I mean,
Yeah,
rest
yeah.
is a little over exaggerated at times,
Oh
but
yeah, let's move on now.
yeah, for sure. So I got Astros in 6. You got
Astros in 7, I
Astros
guess.
in
Be
7. Okay.
safe.
All right, cool. Well, college football. There is no college football to me this weekend. There is one game. All the games. There actually is some great games this weekend, but to me, nothing matters but 3:30 between the hedges, Athens, Georgia, dogs, balls. You know what, TJ? I thought about this
Great.
earlier. I'm not gonna say number 1 versus number 3. I am not gonna put Georgia at number 3. This is number
Yeah,
1 against
that's
number 1.
disrespectful.
I'm
Disrespectful.
so sick and tired of this headline. TJ, you do your thing first on this game, and I'll bounce off of you with what I got. I just want to see what did you have to say real quick, even if it's quick, because I know I got a lot
Uh,
of info.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. The magnitude of it is too big for me to understand. I mean, I guess the thing for me is like as we talked about, we might have talked about it yesterday on the podcast, or if we just talked about it like me and you. I just think is Georgia, you know, I think, I definitely think they're so capable of scoring. And we know that Tennessee gives up so many points on defense. So
Yep.
I'm interested to see if Georgia, can score 40 points or whatever it is. I know you think that they
Yep.
definitely can.
Yep.
And then, like, what does Tennessee do? Like, uh, you know, unlike you, because I know you think this Georgia team is a complete same and blah blah blah.
Well,
This
they're
Tennessee team
not.
is. I think that this Georgia team is a lot different, especially comparing to last year's team. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if the Georgia like defense is the same, I guess,
Well, I mean,
and there's such a
they
huge matchup, or are they going to give up? They have a kind of a young secondary. Could they potentially give up some big plays to Hooker in Tennessee?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have a point there. The statistics aren't that different, but yes, I mean, the
Because
point
I've
is,
got Georgia, dude. I've got Georgia scoring a lot of points. I mean, they're gonna run the ball down their throat, run, the tight end plays for Bowers, and
play
maybe take
action.
some, maybe take some deep shots. But I highly doubt they're even gonna do that
No,
with
they
Stead.
may
But
not even have to, but yeah,
it's just that's what I'm looking for. Does Georgia really step up?
I think I think the question should be is actually what does Tennessee step up? Because
Yeah.
Georgia has been the team in the East. Let's talk about the SEC East. Georgia has been the team in the East. Yeah, forget 2020 Florida. Everything that happened that year was an asterisk by it. We've been the team in the East since Kirby Smart got hired. There's no question about
Yeah,
that.
no doubt about
I,
it.
I, I saw a stat, like I probably said this yesterday. We're 31-1 at home. We're undefeated against top 25 teams. Like, I mean, here's the thing. It has been blatant disrespect all week long, and I get it. I understand it.
It's been
Georgia's been on the
has
mountaintop.
been.
They've been on the mountaintop. Every media outlet always wants the underdog to win, the mountaintop to, the stud to be taken off the mountaintop. But here's the deal. Tennessee beat Alabama. That is great. Everybody's talked all year about their ranked wins. Let's talk about their ranked wins for a second. 31-24 on the road at Pitt in overtime. Pitt has shown their true colors. They're 3-5. Florida at
All
home.
right, so are you just going to invalidate,
Yeah, I'm
Tennessee's
going
entire
to.
year?
No, not every win. They've got a good win
Like,
against Alabama. They have the best win in the country against Alabama. But they beat a Pitt team who's not very good by a little bit in overtime on the road. I get it was a big game, but Pitt's not a very good team. Georgia would have beaten them by 20. Can you agree with that?
yeah, of course.
Okay. Florida, they beat them by 5 at home in Neyland Stadium, the craziest stadium in America, apparently, by 5. How many did Georgia beat Florida by?
I don't know.
22.
What was it, like 22?
22.
Yeah.
22 points. And actually, nobody talked about Georgia beating Florida by that much. Okay, them going on the road at Death Valley at LSU, that's impressive. That's a great win. Good job. You did what you're supposed to. You're supposed to win. Here's the deal. Here's the problem.
Yes.
Here is the problem. You are giving Georgia, Kirby Smart, a chip on our shoulder that we did not need with all this bulletin board hype saying Georgia doesn't have we're not going to be intimidated by the home crowd. You've got articles from anonymous coaches saying, Georgia doesn't have guys in the secondary. They don't have guys up front. And probably teams, we probably kicked that team's ass. But the point is that Georgia is Georgia. Georgia's a program. LSU is a team. Tennessee is a team, much like LSU. I'm trusting the program. I'm trusting Athens, Georgia, and I'm trusting Sanford Stadium here because, in my opinion, Cam Newton didn't show up on Tennessee's campus. They didn't have some guy that came in from last year that's like Lamar Jackson, Manziel. It's not the same team. These guys have improved. I'm not going to take away from that. But it's a similar team we played last year. Yeah, we're not the same, but we're clearly close to, if not as talented as we were last year.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The talent is, definitely there. But
the disparity is there. If Alabama doesn't commit 17 school record penalties, they probably win that football game. We're not even talking about Tennessee right now. Georgia, it's just another, number 17 ranked opponent we're playing. This is not. It's just been so overspoken. The committee ranks Tennessee at 1. I get it, I understand it, but Georgia 45, Tennessee 17. I mean, are you kidding me? You're in Athens. Welcome to the beast. You don't think you're going to be intimidated? No, this is not how it works. This is not how it works. This is how Bama's been for years. Everybody comes in and here's another team going to give Bama a shot. What happens?
They usually lose. That team that plays Bama.
And now I think Georgia.
In this case,
I'm not saying Georgia is Bama, but
that didn't happen. In this case, that didn't happen. They did go play the belly of the beast, and they knocked them off. I know it was at home. Sure. I know Alabama committed 17, penalties, school record. That's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking to see if, I guess, like you said, Tennessee's offense puts up the big numbers that they're, prone to doing this game, because that's something you can't deny. You say, oh, this is the same team, this is the same team, that. No, not really. This Tennessee team is putting up,
well, you can't deny numbers. They're
the number 1 offense, total offense in football. I mean,
who's
playing
right
Alabama, Georgia, I know that. Whatever it is, 1 versus 1 or not, it's.
No, I agree. I get, and to be honest with you, I bet we probably give up. I'm not stupid. You don't roll through 8 games being that good offensively. We're gonna give plays up. This isn't gonna be Georgia versus Clemson, dude. We're gonna give plays up. But come on, dude. They are the 126th ranked pass defense, man.
I know, dude. They're gonna get
plays up. They are gonna get plays up.
And Georgia's gonna run the ball, and they're gonna control the clock. But it's just, I guess sometimes, I don't know, you look to see if this just putrid defense, every once in a while
they don't have a guy that can guard 19, and that's the difference.
They don't.
We could throw it up to him every single time. We have guys that can guard their guys. Look, they're probably gonna, like I said, they're gonna make plays. But this isn't, Bama and Georgia probably similar talent-wise, but defensively, numbers-wise, they're playing the best defense they played all year, and they're playing
absolutely.
And it's they're just, playing on the road.
I just think, for you to say it's not the same defense as it was last year.
No, but
this defense has given up a lot more yards, a lot more touchdowns, a lot more points. Like, yeah, I think you gotta maybe factor that in a little bit.
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely. I mean, we had 15 draft picks on our team last year.
I
The
know, like
majority of them
that's
being
so
on the
much.
defensive side of the ball. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
no doubt though. Game of the year. I mean, come on.
I just
I
think
don't even want to like. I know you're making a prediction. I don't even want to make a prediction. I just
well,
want to enjoy the game.
I don't usually like picking Georgia games, but everything's just been pissing me off so bad all week. Watching how bad we are, how we don't match. I saw some like 5 minutes ago. This is the last thing I'll say, so we can move on.
Okay.
Stetson, Tennessee fans should be excited about the matchup they have in Hendon Hooker against Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett has more passing yards. I understand Hooker is leading on every stat, but passing yards, I get that.
Yeah.
He's a better quarterback this year. That's fine. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to argue that. But anytime a team that is off a defending national championship
As their quarterback still
gets their information that, trickles in that the other team has a better quarterback than the quarterback that just won you a natty and won MVP in both playoff games, I think that's all you need to read. Like, if you're Stetson Bennett, what Stetson plays his best when he's doubted most. He's doubted right here. So watch how good he plays Saturday.
He's doubted. Yeah, he's doubted.
That's all I have to say.
He's got to show me, that's for sure. Because I mean, he didn't really play very well against Florida, and Florida. Not saying that was a big game, but Florida is also not very good.
But I don't understand what you mean when you say he has to show you. What does he have to show you?
This season, I've been there. Like, his numbers aren't the same as last year.
His numbers are better.
That's impossible, bro.
His numbers are better.
He didn't have 7 touchdowns, 4 picks yesterday, like last year. Those are his numbers. That's his touchdowns to picks. What is it then? 11 to 5?
He's got 4 picks, but he's got more yards than Hendon Hooker, dude. Like, come on, dude. His numbers, those are numbers. Like, no, I mean, Stetson, I'm going to guard Stetson until the day I die, but
this just isn't a game that's won. Like, it's won by getting in the end zone.
13 will get the dogs in the end zone more than 5 will get them in there for the balls. And I'm so sick and tired. I mean, I'm just sick and tired of this crap. I'm just sick and tired of it, dude.
Okay, so before we move on, for the record,
it's 11-4, isn't it?
I'll say no. I'm just gonna give a pick. It's 9-3 actually. So 9 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Okay.
18th QBR. That's all right.
Okay. I mean, nobody's
yards. I don't know what the yard ranking is.
He's up there. He's
13th. 13th.
Yep. But he
QBR
is
10. No, I'm just gonna go on the record. I'll say I'll have, I guess, for my prediction, I'll say Georgia by 4.
So you think Tennessee covers that?
Yeah, 35-31.
Okay.
That's what I got.
That's fair. I think that goes over the point total too. 64.5, so 66. Yeah, that should go over.
Yeah.
All right. I don't need to talk about this anymore. I'm too into this one. I just need to see it happen, but
we do have another big game, kind of. Well, actually, definitely. Bama at LSU. Bama 13.5-point favorites. Is this too high for a top 10 matchup, which is in Death Valley, Baton Rouge? So, what do you think here?
I think it may be too high, but it also might be one of those things where Bama covers kind of sort of at the end there. Not necessarily, like I said, not necessarily garbage time, just kind of scores at the end to make it a 14-point game. That's why it's at 13.5. I do think that is a very high spread. I feel like LSU in this game is
high, man.
The LSU, it is very high on the road. I agree. LSU, but in that defense, I do really think LSU would have to play their A to A+ game. With Bama playing another game like, lots of penalties, Bama would have to not play their good game or best. If Bama plays their best and LSU plays their best, Bama would probably win by 15 or 20. But
I just think at least the atmosphere is a little underrated. Like, this is a night game, right? I mean,
night,
yeah. So it's gonna be a night game at Death Valley. I mean, LSU, like, they're gonna at least their fans, they're gonna bring it. So yeah, I guess my notes on this. I think Bryce Young could potentially put himself right back in the Heisman talk with a huge game. However, I do not think it'll go like that. I think it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs
Gibbs.
in this one for Bama. LSU has 66th best rush defense in the FBS, allowing 142 rush yards a game and then 11 total rushing touchdowns. I mean, that's a lot, especially like if you give that up to a Bama team, they're going to run on you for 250, 3 touchdowns. So yeah, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is just one of those guys that can have a monster game.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, give Bama the win. Again, I don't know exactly if Bama's going to cover or not. I would say maybe they win by like 10. I wouldn't be covering, but I guess that's what I would say there.
It's hard to make. Like I said, I said Bama covers, but my score was 31-17. So that easily could be easily could be LSU. Give or take a couple points there for sure. Before we get to NFL, let's talk about Clemson Notre Dame. I think we can't ignore this one for sure. 4-point favorites. What do you think, man?
Yeah, so Clemson's only 4-point favorites, and you know what? I'm a little iffy on Clemson here. I mean,
I agree.
Again, another night game. It's going to be in South Bend. I like Clemson still, but I like this one being really close. Clemson just with a backup quarterback. I don't think Notre Dame is like they're bad, but they aren't as bad as people think they are. I think they could definitely squeak this one out, but we'll see. What do you think?
I think Notre Dame's got guys,
man. It's a rivalry. This is a rivalry game.
They should have guys. They should have guys. I think that the team should know their coach is on the hot seat. They should be playing that way. If they lose, dude, they're at 5-4, which sounds good in the NFL, but that's just that's terrible.
No, that's
in college.
Not good for Notre. But however, if they win, they beat Clemson, they knock Clemson out of it.
It's a win
that coach has another year. I think
absolutely. I agree. That's exactly.
They go on to win 10 games, or you know what I mean. Like that's ends up being a pretty good year.
And then you kind of look back on it like, hey, we did beat a top 5 team. I do think though, this one stays close, but unfortunately Notre Dame doesn't pull it out. I think Clemson, they've got higher aspirations, as I've said. But I love this line actually at 4. I think it stays around that the entire game. But I do like Clemson to cover by 7 or 10 just at the end there, just to cover by a point or 2. I could see Notre Dame covering, but my pick here is Clemson to cover by 7 or 10. But this will be close for a while. What about Texas, Kansas State, man? Big 12.
Yeah, last one. So Kansas State just with a huge 48-point victory. I mean, that was, crazy win. Crazy. I think I saw a stat. It was like the biggest win ever by a team playing a top 10 team like on the road or something.
Right, yeah.
Like,
I mean, just
it's whatever. So it was some crazy stat. So I'm going to just go Kansas State outright here. I know Texas is 2.5-point favorites. I don't like that at all. Texas is not good on defense at all. I bet the game's in Austin. That's probably why they're 2.5-point favorites, but I like Kansas State here.
The game is in Actually, it's in Kansas State, Manhattan.
It's in Kansas.
It's in Manhattan. That's why.
Wow.
But Kansas State's got a backup quarterback in there, which is why it's so crazy that they won last week like that. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
He won. Scored 48 points on who was it? Oklahoma State. Like
that defense is pretty. That's good. I'll guess I'll disagree with that. I think Texas wins this game, but I'm not. This is not a confident play. I'm just kind of betting on the wackiness of the Big 12, where 1 week a team looks great and the next they look terrible.
Except TCU.
Except TCU, which, here they are still around. But I got Texas 42, Kansas State 31, high-scoring affair. I think Ewers has a game, but it's hard to imagine anybody in the Big 12 stopping Bijan Robinson. But like I said, I'm not real confident about this. I just think I'm going with Vegas here. I got Texas minus 2.5.
Okay, so aside from the two SEC heavyweight matchups, this slate really is it's not very good other than those two games. Because I was looking at it this morning and I was like, dude, wow. It's definitely going to help that we're going to be in Athens all day. So
yeah, but there's good. I mean, Florida A&M, for me, like that's a good game. Baylor, Oklahoma, that's a good game. I'm looking at it right now, actually. West Virginia, no, don't stop.
There's a Wake Forest and NC State. That's a good game. Like a 20 ranked matchup. So it's all right.
Well, in these games, I mean, you look at Auburn, Mississippi State like 2 years ago, that's a top 15 game. So, I mean, just the year by year, some games just end up being better.
They designed it, I guess. I don't know, man. It's just not very good slate, which that should carry us on to the NFL, which
has a great
Also,
slate.
it nah,
Great? No, you don't like it.
no,
Okay. Well, I
it's
like it.
not.
I like it. TJ
It's
doesn't.
not good, man, at all. Actually,
Well, I get my team's a division leader and TJ's isn't. So, but anyways, Rams at the Bucks. TJ.
finally. So finally, one of these teams is going to win. It feels like we've been waiting just about the entire year for one of these teams to finally get something going. I
Right.
think
Yep.
this is that type of game. This would be huge for the Rams if they go into Tampa Bay and still win because it's in Tampa Bay. The type of win on the road, I think you get a squad going again, like the Rams. I mean, they're a team that if they get hot in the back half of the year, could pay dividends. They have just too much talent on defense, I think, and then to go along with the Bucks' offensive line has been horrible, and they don't really have the playmakers aren't really making plays for the Bucks. So
Yep.
I think like the O lineman being out for Tampa, it's so big for them because Tom Brady isn't being protected. He's getting sacked, not really playing very good lately. So I would say the Rams here, but this is definitely going
Okay.
to be a great game.
Yeah, I like that.
What
I
do you
like
think?
that pick. I personally want the Rams to win for divisional implications. It's crazy
Yeah.
this late in the year I'd actually be saying that. It's crazy, but
Hey, dude,
oh
it's week
man, these
8, man.
these
Week
teams,
9, bro. Like you gotta relax a little.
dude. Like I said, my team's a divisional
No,
leader and yours isn't, so I'm gonna continue to talk about that. But
divisions
but
are won in November and December.
sure,
So
sure, that's fine. That's fine. It's November, TJ.
it's November. Yeah.
Yeah, and my team's number one in division. So I'm gonna hold on. By the way, I'm gonna hold on to that for as long as I can. But I guess I'll go
As
Bucks
you
here.
should.
I'll
As
go
you
Bucks
should.
here. Not really to really disagree with you. I don't know who's gonna win this game, but I think
I don't either,
if
dude.
if
Like
I were to have
it's
one play though for this game, I'd say the over. Both these offenses will look last lackluster, especially the Bucks. But if you watch their matchup last year, they did. You saw the big comeback and stuff. A lot of points on the board. I think 42.5 is a low number for this game. I think both of these offenses wake up a little bit. Like at some point they have to. So
but
that's
yeah,
my
that
play.
I mean, both of these defenses haven't even been playing good either. I mean, the Ravens just stomped all over the Bucks defense, and then um,
Right.
and then the 49ers just stomped over the
Rams D.
Rams. So, and the Rams have been getting gutted on defense, all year. I think it could be definitely a high scoring game as well. One thing to look, for Cooper Cup, if he's not fully healthy, I don't really think the Rams have too much of a shot in this. I mean, Stafford
Yep.
will have no one to throw the ball to. That'll really be that. So,
Right. Absolutely. No, that's definitely something to keep track of. What about Sunday night, Chiefs Titans?
yeah, so pretty big football week matchups for the state of Tennessee this week, don't you
Yeah.
think? Yeah,
Yeah.
so the thing here is ESPN giving Kansas City an 88% chance to win this Sunday night at Arrowhead. It's in Arrowhead. Think
Yeah.
this is too high?
88%. I mean,
That's a
The
large,
Titans
man.
play them well. The Titans play them well historically.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, that is way too high.
But
Also,
they don't
the
have a
line.
quarterback though.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the line is at 12.5.
that's absurd for an NFL
Dude,
game.
they haven't had a quarterback though. Like, I mean,
You're
they've
right.
had one. They've had an
You're
experienced
right.
guy, but Malik Willis can turn around and hand the ball off just as good as Ryan Tannehill. So,
Yeah, so
but
that's going to be the thing for this game. Do they stop Henry? If they stop Henry, it should be the Chiefs by 20, right?
okay, yeah, I agree, but I do think that Henry is kind of unstoppable as far as like you can't really contain him or you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. I think they cover the 12.5 with their pace of play, but this isn't going to be like close. The Chiefs are going to win this game for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
12 and a half is just high for me. That's a very high line in the NFL.
with the game being in Arrowhead, I think that's really all that matters. I mean, these Chiefs fans, they know what it is.
Yeah,
It's a
no, the
huge
Chiefs,
game for them. Like, you know what I mean?
they got to keep up with the Bills, man. Which
Yeah, they
the
got to
Bills
keep up
play
with the
the
Bills.
Bills play the Jets this week. What do you think, Teach?
Oh yeah, so I'll take the Bills by at least 15. It's funny. I have it here written, kind of a heavyweight clash between two good AFC East teams.
Sure,
We'll
yeah,
see if the Jets are still in that conversation after this week. But yeah, so I'd say the Bills are going to win by at least 15. They won so convincingly last Sunday night, but for some reason, I just don't think Josh Allen, thinks he did good enough. So he
yeah,
only had 218 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, only completed 51%. And that leads me to believe he'll take his anger out on the Jets and show them, kind of who's boss.
yeah. I
Because he is
agree.
boss.
I agree. It's actually pretty cool that division. You had such a dominant force for 20 years with the Pats, and now I feel like the
It's
Bills are
all
actually
Bills.
the Bills are going to. I feel like they're going to do that for the next 15, 20. For this line at 11.5, that feels like a long line too. But in this one, I got the favorite. I got the Bills covering minus 11.5. I think I agree. They'll win by at least 15 points. The Jets are a great story, but the Bills are just not. This isn't like them playing the rate. This is a Bills team that is unstoppable. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I like them to cover
the
for
only
sure.
thing is though, like I guess about the Bills is I'm not saying this could be like a potential trap game. I just said they're going to win by 15. But these are like kind of those types of games. You build up a big lead and you see a sneaky 500 or, around 500 team.
Right.
Sometimes they sneak up and, beat you.
Well, like you said,
But
I mean, you did make the point, and I was joking around earlier, but these couple of weeks can kind of be like dog days ish.
yeah,
Like, the middle of the season, especially for a team like the Bills who have only gotten one loss, they're like, not that they're thinking that they can lose, but like they know, they're a couple losses away from
which
being in
is
trouble.
why, I'm all Houston sports tonight. So got the
Okay,
Astros winning, got the Texans
Texans.
winning.
Okay, yeah, no,
But yeah,
that's perfect example though.
yeah.
Everybody's a pro team, so let's give the Jets
All
at
right.
least a fighting hope, but I think the Bills cover.
You
Colts,
want to talk
Pats,
about
let's
this?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's touch
Last
that real
game.
quick.
Okay, yeah. So I was looking at the slate and I was like, this caught my eye a little. Not really that too flashy of a game. I mean, there's no big players really on either sides, no really names, no good quarterbacks, no good
Zappy?
receivers. Okay, well, Mac Jones is going to be
Yeah, I
starting,
know.
but
I know. I'm
but you
just
know what I
kidding.
mean. Like
I'm
neither
reaching.
team has a quarterback. They got they have pretty staunch defenses. This one's really interesting to me. Colts sitting at 3-4-1, and the Patriots are 4-4. If the Colts win, with the Titans playing the Chiefs, and we're saying the Chiefs are gonna, win, they would find themselves only one game out of that NFC South division lead, which
AFC.
that's
AFC, AFC, AFC.
AFC. Did I say NFC?
Yeah, it's Matt Ryan. I get it. I get it. Matt
Yeah,
Ryan.
well, AFC South. That's my bad. Whereas the Pats, probably aren't going to catch the Bills, but they win this one, they're 5-4, and they could find themselves right into the thick of the AFC wild card. So these teams do have, this
Now
is a big game for both these teams, I think.
that's a lot. No, that's a lot like last year for them. I mean, they were never going to catch the Bills last year, but they stuck around and were a wild card team with what 10 wins.
Yeah, yeah, and
So
they were a good football team. I see a lot of the same,
yeah,
kind of team in this Patriots team.
it's the Pats, and you probably saw this one because of Manning Brady. That's literally our childhood. That's probably why it's because literally when you
Oh
wrote it, I was
yeah,
like, that's my first thought, but they are
yeah, I don't even think of
both
them anymore.
both of these teams are very far removed from that matchup. If it was 07, we'd be like, this is awesome, but it's
Yeah,
not.
it's not.
I'm calling this a stay alive game. I agree with everything you said, but I think the Pats win this game. I really don't like the Colts right now. They benched my boy Matty Ice, so I'm done with them. Pats right here for sure.
All right, yeah, let's kind of
Yeah,
wrap it up here. We got about 2 minutes left.
let's hand some blocks out, bro.
Yeah, so uh, I'm gonna get back into the prop game this week, I guess.
You're 2-1, right? 2-1, 2-1,
3-0, 3-0.
3-0. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah, so
sure.
I'm not like on a book or anything. I couldn't find a ETN touchdown prop on Prize Picks, but it doesn't matter. That's not what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with him over 80.5 rushing yards this Sunday against the Raiders. ETN is a beast, going over that mark in 3 straight games. And with him now being the guy in Jacksonville, he's getting the rock at a much higher clip. Also, the Raiders, just their defense sucks. I think this should hit easily, actually.
Yeah, I agree. He's just gonna get the workload to do it.
He gets it, man. They give him a lot of carries. I was
Well,
looking
I
earlier.
mean, just the Raiders. I mean, 80.
Yeah.
That seems like a lot of yards, but it's really not that many in the NFL with a couple big carries. But I actually have a similar stat. I have an 80.5 as well, but I have Miles Sanders tonight going over 80.5 against the Texans. The Texans have been gashed. They just got gashed for 200 plus for Henry. They've given up
Yeah.
120 plus multiple times. Even Khalil Herbert got that mark. Like it, even though Sanders isn't
Yeah.
Sanders is not Derrick Henry, but he'll get the carries and he'll get over 81 yards tonight. That would make me 3-1. DeJounte Murray 30 plus last night. Give him a shout out real quick, and shout out
Yeah,
to Toronto
he's
Maple Leafs,
great.
my new team. What about you, TJ? 20
Lakers.
seconds.
Lakers with a kind of promising win last night. Russ played good. Matt Ryan saved Braun's legacy, and
The basketball player.
Data Davis has been on the court most of these team games. Time to get on the Lakers hype train, maybe.
Maybe. Don't get on the hype train, guys. Not this weekend.
Don't get on the
Not
hype
yet.
train. Not yet.